This is a super basic, all you need to know guide to music theory for songwriting. I'm going to show you some simple music workings and how different notes interact together on both the piano and the guitar. This is going to take a lot of the guesswork out of your songwriting so you know which notes will work for a melody, which chords will work within the key. It's going to speed up your songwriting, make it easier, and give you a ton more confidence. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start by showing you which notes are available within a key. I'll do that both on the piano here and on the guitar fretboard. Then I'm going to show you an easier way to think about those notes. We're going to transform those into numbers. So you just have to remember 1, 2, 3 instead of all the different notes on the piano or the guitar. And thirdly, we're going to look at chords. Which chords are you allowed to use? Which ones should be minors? Which ones should be majors? So when you're coming up with chord progressions, you can kind of have a framework of where you can go rather than just having to experiment. So to start off with, try not to get super bored, but it's all about the major scale. It's all about the notes within that major scale. So the easiest way to do that is by looking at the white keys on a piano here, right? So we've got, that's your major scale, or white keys if you're playing in the key of C. So if we want to have a look at this, between each note is a semitone, right? So C to C sharp to D sharp to E to F, they're all a semitone. So a major scale is made up from tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So if you can remember that, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, that's going to sort out which note is available within each key. So visually, let's have a look at that. We've got a semitone there. So from here to here is a tone, C to D. From D to E is a tone because we're going past the semitone there. So a tone is 2 semitones, right? But then from E to F, there's no black there. So that's where we're going up just a semitone. And then we're going tone, 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 semitone. So with C, super, super easy. If we move to another key, so let's move to A, we're doing the same thing here. We're going tone, but now to go tone, if we just went to the next white one there, that's only a semitone. So we've got to go tone, tone, skip that semitone, then semitone, then we're going tone, 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 semitone. So we know they're the notes that are available in the key of A. So is that super confusing or what? You get used to it if you just think tone, tone, semitone. So let's have a look on the guitar here. We can do the same thing. This doesn't have white and black keys, so it is a little bit more difficult. Like everything is a semitone here, right? So if we wanted to go on the guitar, let's start in the key of G. We want to go tone, so we're going to skip over that semitone. So the key scale in G would be tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Or you can do it tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, then back to the G, right? So that's the major scale in a nutshell. That's the notes that you're allowed to use in the key. So when that's why you think, why sometimes you use the black keys, why sometimes don't you? Depends on what key you're in. So it's only C that is not going to use any of the black keys. So interestingly, all notes within that key are going to work now when we're writing a melody. So if we got a C chord there, we can pretty much write any melody using the white note. So let's just muck around with a few here. So some work better than others, but they're all available. If we start to hit black keys, that's when you're going to start to get that discord that we don't love. Can you never use a black key if you're in the key of C? Like, can you never go outside of the key? No, you can't. And that's probably the one disadvantage of knowing the rules, is that it makes them harder to break. So some of the best songs kind of move out of the key, and that's okay. But as a general, staying in the key, you know is going to work. So let's now make this super easy by transforming all these notes. So instead of thinking C, D, E, F, F sharp, G sharp, let's just go 1 through to 8. So in the major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is back to the C, or back to the 1. So really there's 7 notes in there, and every single scale is the same. So we're going 1, and then a tone is 2, a tone is 3, a semitone is 4, a tone is 5, a tone is 6, a tone is 7, and then a semitone back to 8. So it doesn't matter again if we go C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's always numbers. So that makes it really easy. I like to think of that when I'm writing melodies. So I might, for the verse, write a melody around the 1, 2, 3, for example. So my melody might be. So that's in the key of C. We're using 1, 2, 3. So I could then say, oh, I want to transpose that to G. So now my melody's. Whatever I did. Same thing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then when we go to the chorus, let's go, well, let's make that lift a bit. So let's use 3, 4, 5 in the chorus. So our verse, and then we can go to our chorus and go. And if we want to transpose that to a different key, we just know we have to use the 1, 3, 4, 5. Does that make sense? So we kind of get away from, am I playing G sharps, F sharps, B flats? I'm playing the 6th note in the key. And that's a really, really easy way to think about it. Convert everything to numbers. Then finally, if we keep with our numbers thing, once we get to our chords, numbers are great, right? So chords are the same numbers. So when we're looking at C is 1, D is 2, 3 is E, F is 4, and so on. So are our chords. So they're the notes within the key, which means that's the same chords that we can use within the key, right? So we can play a 1 chord, which is a C. Then we can go to the 5, G. We can go to the 6 chord, A. We can go back to the 4th chord, F. We can go to the 2nd chord, we can go to a D. So now some of those need to be minor and some of those need to be major. So this is a little bit of a, this will help you out. I think one thing that people struggle with when I'm songwriting with them is knowing what's a minor and what's a major and why. So that is because a chord is made up of 3, a triad, right? So 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5. That is always a chord. That's a major chord, 1, 3, 5. A minor chord is 1 minor third, 5. So you can see now that I've added that black key in to make it a minor. So major, minor. So the reason that some minor chords are in a key is because this is where we play the 2nd. So this is a D minor. Now we know that we can't use that black note in a key of C, can we? So when we go here, an actual D would be tone, tone, semitone, tone. So a normal D, major, normal. A major D has to use that F sharp. But in the key of C, we have to make that minor so that it stays in the key. So we need to make that 3rd a minor. So it's actually tone, semitone rather than tone, tone. That makes a minor. So in every key, both your 2nd note and your 6th note are always minors. So in the key of C, C major, and then always D minor, always A minor, right? Because same thing, that's an A major. Not allowed to use that guy, it's gotta be a minor. So if you think any key, so if you wanna go, let's go back to our guitar. We think, let's play a song in the key of A. What's the 6th gonna be in the key of A, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is an F sharp. So F sharp is always a minor in the key of A, and the other one that we went past is a B. So if we're playing a song, we can go to F sharp minor works. Major D, major E, sorry, major D, and then minor B, and that just works. If we went to a major B, we did our little progression, it's gonna feel like a key change, ready? This sounds a little bit weird. Better example is probably in the key of G because I can play an E better there. So if we were 1, 4, and then major 6. See how it feels like it totally shifts, but if we did that same thing to the 4 and then a minor 6, that's totally fine because that note there, G sharp, is not in the key. That needs to be a G natural. to fit in the key. That's why going sounds like it totally changes the whole feel of the song. So you've heard some really great songs that do that, that change really extreme like that. So that's, you know, that's kind of good songwriting. That's kind of advanced songwriting though. So to make this easier, just know where those minors are. So to recap, you'll hear this progression all the time, right? 1, 5, 6, 4, right? This is most popular songs. Because that just works. So you 1, 1, 4, 5 are your majors. They kind of always work. And then you want to put in the 6. That's going to give you minor. It's going to kind of give some emotion and feel. Sometimes you can use the 2, so you can make that a D minor. Sometimes it's a bit more bold, the second. It kind of always kind of makes a statement. The 3rd you can see is a minor as well. So that's E minor, that being E major. You can kind of, if you want to get technical, you can kind of make that a major within the chord. It kind of works, but generally 3 is quite hard to use. You have to, again, it's very, very bold if you use that. And if you're going down to the 7, it's diminished. So see, like that's not a normal chord, it's using a flat 5th. But that, very rarely can you make that guy work. But generally 1, 4, 5, and 6 is going to work 4. So a lot of songs just have different combinations of this. So you might do a verse going 1, 4, 2, 5. And then you might get to the chorus and go 6, 5, 4, 1. 6, 5, 4. And then let's go to a bridge. Start on the 2, go up to the 3, go up to the 4, go up to the 5, and then back to your chorus on 6. So once you figure out what the key is, you know what the chords are, they all work, and then it's just a matter of figuring out which ones you like the sound of. I always kind of write melody first and then fit my chords around my melody, but that will kind of help you out. So 1, you think of it as numbers, 1 through to 7, and then just find out which chords they are. Know that the 6 and the 2 are always minors. 1, 4, and 5 are always going to work. And remember, when you're figuring those out, it's tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So I reckon those things are the need to know aspects of music theory to start songwriting. Obviously, music is like an entire language. There is so much going on. And if you know about music, you're probably going, oh man, that is super, super basic. But I think that's all you need to know. If you want to get further into music theory, it's fascinating. Definitely jump on and do that. If you're interested in taking your songwriting to the next level, I have a 3-part crash course in songwriting, which will teach you melody, chords, lyrics, rhythm, structure, everything that goes into creating a really effective song that people want to listen to over and over. So you can access that completely free. I'll just send it all to you in an email, completely free from the link below, and not just learn how to write a song, but it kind of goes into how to be a songwriter. What sort of tools can you set up so that you can write song after song after song and make them really good that your audience wants to listen to over and over. So a 3-part crash course for free. Jump on it in the link below. See you next time.